As promised, here's part 2 of Troy Deeney. You get up to the Premier League. Like, how much did you? Because it felt like you took to it, right, like straight away, right?
Yeah, in terms of performance, not with goal scoring. It took me a while. I think I was like 8 games before I scored my first one. But it's like I've got 2 very proud moments. One, the best one is walking out the FA Cup final. I know we get dicked and all of that, but I had my mum and nan there. My nan's like a proper stickler for the royal family and loves it all. And then to walk down the line introducing my teammates, and she was there to watch it. Like she says that's one of her best days. So that's one. And then the second one was walking at Goodison Park, first game of the season, to Deeney 9 with the Premier League crest on and the captain's arm. And I was like, oh, I've cracked it, mate. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Just proper cracked moment. It, yeah. I remember the kit, I remember everything about it. I did got sent off in about 8 minutes. Had a proper like Paul Gascoigne moment. Like I'm
so excited.
Yeah, I was like, I just really want this. And everything you thought it was going to be all through pre-season. Like, you know, you guys ever been promoted and played? Yeah. You always been there?
No, promoted.
Promoted. So you know that pre-season?
Yeah.
All you're thinking about is game one, innit?
Yeah.
Like first day, all the runs, it's like get it done because you got to be ready for day one and all of that. And then it just, I don't know, all the excitement just built up. And I remember I smashed John Stones, and I love John, but like he was at Everton, and he was like being linked with City, 50 mil, and he was just playing casually out from the back. I thought, oh, you're getting it. And as soon as the ball's gone to him, mate, I've ran and I thought, oh, you know when you think you've got it, and he's just played a little one round the corner, but I smashed him and I thought, oh no. Like instantly face went white, and he was like, too fair to ref, gave me a yellow card. I said, look, calm down. Get back in, and then thankfully I stayed on. But if I'd have got sent off in my first game, mate, Jesus Christ, I'd have been done there. Like, none of this would have happened.
You said there about the goals, like you was obviously a scorer of great goals, and you was a great goal scorer. But you would more than happy if you're 1v1 and someone's in a better position. You're more than happy to square it for them to score. You look like as a
team first, team first, because like I think I scored like 47 Prem goals. I think something like 47, 48 maybe. And obviously now, when you see like Haaland did that in 1 year, everyone's like, oh, Troy, shit, no problem, whatever. My thought was always we had to win because we was always the underdog. So, and I'm always weirdly searching for like little bits of history. So Watford had never stayed up consecutive years. So then once we did that, I wanted to be like, well, how many years could we stay up? Because I'm at the forefront of it. Do you get what I mean? So all these little weird things come into your head, and you remember, you was around, mate. Igalo was the opposite.
Igalo,
Iggy was the opposite. So sometimes you just had to he made a lot of my shit passes look really good, I'll be honest with you, mate. Like, because he was rapid. So ball would come, you just spin it around the corner and he's in there. But because I used to be
a few partners like that myself.
Just did a podcast with one, JD, made a living off it. But we was talking about like, I used to be a right back, used to be a centre mid. So for me, it's always been a case of like appreciating where the next person would be. When I was think back, I never used to watch Wrighty and people like that. Although Wrighty was my hero, but it was more like Teddy Sheringham's. Because I was never fast, I was always all right. So Teddy Sheringham's, Dennis Bergkamp's, those type of players, you had to use every sinew of their brain to compete at that top level. Really, so I always appreciate it, and I don't think I missed many sitters. I obviously missed a few, but I was never really in the space. There was always somebody else. Just like, go there, you go, Iggy, you go score, or Vids, or whoever it was. Just as long as we won, I really didn't care.
Did you have much to do with Elton John? We went to Vicarage Road. We had Elton John on the podcast, and Legend. I've never known anyone so kind of knowledgeable about Watford, right?
Especially about Watford.
About Watford as well. So, have you had much dealings?
Yeah, I'm fortunate. He's given me permission to have the Alton stream, we call it. So obviously, got the house in LA, so he gets a live stream of the game, and since I've left, they've given me the Alton stream, we call it.
Oh, you see, I heard that was only Elton that's got that.
Yeah, he signed it off so I can still watch Watford games, and I have to thank the big boss for that. He's looked after me. To be fair, I've said it before, but there's like you play a game, and the one that comes to mind would be Arsenal FA Cup quarter final 2-1 at their place. I had my car there, so coming out. And it's coming up on the dashboard. It's like maybe Los Angeles. I'm like, I don't fucking know anyone from LA. Like, I think it's a bit of a cold caller, but I was like, fuck it, answer it anyway. Hello? Troy, it's Elton. How are you? What a game! It's 4 a.m. here. I'm doing it. I'm like, mate, I'm in the car driving, like wobbling a bit, going, the fuck's going on here? Like, oh, yeah, Elton, how are you? He's like, oh, great game. Pass on my best to the boys. If you're going out tonight, you know, have a drink on me, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be at the semis. Wish you all the best. See you later, mate. Bang. Look, the fuck's going on here?
Amazing,
Like, do you know what I mean? You're just driving in the motor on the way home and Sir Elton John's give you a call. And but he's been brilliant to me. Like, he's always reached out. I've had him on a podcast over Zoom and stuff. Anything I need. And then, like, even for my nan, you'll hear my nan a lot. My nan's like my queen. So it was her 70th, and I was like, look, never asked you for anything, being a bit cheeky. Any chance you could just do a personalised message? It's her 70th, she'll buzz off it. Sent me a signed Rocket Man album.
Wow.
For with a card, Margaret, all the best. And so he'll always be a legend for me, mate. Yeah.
Did he ever have a hand in keeping you at the club? Did he ever?
Mate, he bought me there, didn't he? Not everyone knows that though. Yeah, he did a concert. Gave all the money and that got me in. So I had to repay
talked
someone.
about that when we spoke to him, didn't we?
Yeah, I was at that concert, and I obviously didn't know that's where my money was going. But
You're welcome.
That's great.
It was spent clearly. Really well.
No, I'm buzzing. But at times where you've maybe thought about leaving, did he ever contact you personally?
No, he didn't need to. When I say like, I think I was there for 12 years, right? So there was never really a desire to leave. There was always there's more money on the table. Can we do some business to sort it out? Because I had it really fucking good there. Let's be honest. I was the captain. I was starting every week. I had direct chats with the owner. I kind of knew what was going on, and then we was also in places to help the next generation as well. So putting things in place, and I'm not going to get that if I moved anywhere else. No. So I never really wanted to leave. There's a few times like I had like Leicester. Leicester was the one obviously I've really thought about, but then West Ham and Newcastle came in as well, and then they're just like big clubs that I remember watching. I was like, oh, it'd be nice to play for them, but that was about it. It was never.
But if you've gone to Leicester, do you not worry it would have chipped away something at the great Leicester goal? Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, because yes, it could have had that, but then I could have played Champions League football. Probably got an England call up, maybe a friendly. Do you know what I mean? Off of that, so. Yeah, like it's half.
The position you held there at Watford is it's a very unique.
Absolutely, and I was never going to get that anywhere else.
No, because you hold court in the dressing room.
Yeah,
you got all the players. Obviously whatever you do in that dressing room, they'll know you're doing it for all their best interests.
Yeah,
and also you've got that from upstairs. So was there moments as well when you was at Watford and you're talking to the ownership? We can see the list of managers.
How many did I have?
Right, we got 15 here. Dyche, Zola.
I thought it was 19.
Yeah, listen, this is our research team's dog shit. So. Could well be.
No, because he come back twice. There you go. You missed he come back twice, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So was there times where you're working on these and then on the opposite you're talking to upstairs going, I'm not saying you want to get them sacked, but
no. It was never that. Do you know what? They would do things like, so for example, let me have a look on here. So we got rid of Sanino in the middle of the year. We signed Oscar Garcia from Brighton at the time. Yeah. He ends up 2 weeks in, maybe a week in, having a heart condition. He has to leave. So then Billy McKinley, his assistant, took over for like a week. A week. And then Slav came in. Yeah. So in that season, we had 4 managers, but you can't account for somebody having a heart problem.
No.
So it was always like, this has happened, Troy, deal with it. Not deal with it, like tell the boys this is what's going on. And I would just ask the questions like, well, they're going to know. So like Jukanovic coming in, like no one knows where's he come from, who's he been before, and they would give you a little bit of a research as to why. And then I just take all the questions for him. But like I remember Jukanovic played for Chelsea many moons ago, but I didn't know where he'd been managing or anything like that. So with him, the best one, obviously, you know Watto as well, Watson. So obviously, I feel like, and this is no disrespect because he went and did it at Fulham afterwards, but we had a decent team, and he was going to get sacked. If you remember, we played Fulham away, and it was basically, if we lost this game, he was getting sacked. We won 5-0 in a day. It was perfect. But we ended up signing Matt Connolly, centre-half from Cardiff, and we signed Watford in Jan. So our spine was Aurelio Gomez, Matt Connolly, Ben Watson, myself in the Championship. And that got us through it, not necessarily him and his coaching staff, without being disrespectful to them. Because there was times he'd come in screaming and shouting. I remember we played Bolton away, and he put me on the bench, so I was fuming. But he used to rotate the strikers, and I was on the bench, and we were 2-1 down, I want to say. And he's like screaming and shouting. A few boys going back and forth, and we were just like, "Oi, shut the fuck up." Watto gets up. Obviously, Watto knows the score. He said, "Right, you do this, you do that." Me, I was on the bench. Right, strikers, you two keep trying to shoot. Fucking one of yours pass to the other one, and we'll score. We end up winning the game 4-3 in the end. And it's like, obviously, he takes credit for it because he's the manager and he made the decisions, but he couldn't hold court in that dressing room because there was too many personalities, and like Watto, Gomi, and obviously with everyone speaking different languages, we was able to put it all into line.
Hi, Peter Crouch of that Peter Crouch podcast. We called to arms last time. We asked you to subscribe. Plenty of you did subscribe, but of course, we need more. We'd love you to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoy our content, if you enjoy the podcast. Really does help. So when I think of like Watford at that time, it felt like there was no real kind of identity other than you. And when I say that, I mean, like, because there's so many players that you go through. Like, I think I can remember Ben Watson there. I can remember, certain players. So many players coming and going. Yeah. Gomez as well was another one. Maybe there's a few that I think are synonymous with that time. But you outstay all these managers, right? The players come and go, but it feels like you're the kind of glue in there. Would you class that?
That was my role, and I was obviously paid accordingly for that to steady the ship. I think what frustrated me the most with like coming to the end and looking back was that there's an old Batman said, I'm a nerd deep down, mate. But like basically you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, right? Yeah. So throughout all of it, you're like, you're doing well. Now the team starts going a bit dodgy, must be Troy's fault. So you can't have it both ways. You get what I mean? And sometimes it did wear on me. I was like, fucking hell, I'm the one holding this shit together. Like, especially through like COVID and stuff, when we were giving like making the contributions to keep the place running and what have you. We I did a lot of work trying to get lads on board with that, because some lads live to their means, as you all know. Like if you're earning £100 a week, you spend 99, don't you? It doesn't matter what you're earning. And they were like, no, I'm not giving up my money. And I was like, come on, I'm going to do this because of this, that, the other. You'll get it back on this day. I did loads of work for that. And then, a year later, or the summer later, like, you could go because we've just been relegated. You're out of there. I'm like, fucking hell. 3 months ago, I was a Samaritan's boy. I was rounding up all the money and doing all that. So times like that, it became very, very frustrating. But
do you think the same way that you were saying you could pass on messages from the owners to the players and be that conduit that way, was there, but my impression of it was that also you would potentially be doing that the other way. So
never.
If they lost the dressing room, if a manager lost the dressing room, in my head, what there really was going on was they'd lost you.
Never. I'm a soldier.
Yeah.
So they tell you what to do, you do as you're told. Never. There's no reason for me to speak up above, ever. The only time I spoke to people above was about bonuses.
Yeah.
That was the only conversations we ever had.
Do you think there's sometimes that misconception?
Like I said, it's easy though, isn't it? Because Troy gets hold of the place, so Troy must be the reason he's got sacked. So you can't have it both ways. There was never one. Even your man, I forget his name, so look at this, Ivic, that piece of shit.
So there
was love.
No, I can't
on
stand
the notes here, it says, Ivic, Troy's spoken in the past with about a few disagreements he's had. This piece of shit.
No, he was a piece of shit, mate. So do you know why he was a piece of shit, mate? Because I'm old school. Like, if you've got a problem with me, no problem. Yeah. So we had Nigel Pearson, right? Nigel's old school, still love him, and I did a Sky with him a couple of weeks ago. He's his first day in, he understood he had to get me in line. Like, that was just his prerogative. Not we'd spoke or whatever. So he pulled me in his office. He goes, right, I know you're the captain, I know you're the governor, whatever, but today I'm going to fucking batter you and you're going to shut your mouth, all right? Yeah, no bother. Mate, an hour and 40 minutes. I'm talking from the warm-up, fucking hell, here he is, Lardar, said he chads. I was like, second one out, mate. I'm like, oh, right, he's just told me that, keep your mouth shut. We do a shooting drill and Decore kicks it. Like, he's just a warm-up one. You know the ones where no one's really interested. He's had a shot, it's got over the bar, but it went over the, it like kicked up and went over the hoarding thing as well. Fucking hell, Troy, that you? I'm not even touched the ball yet. I'm like, nah, he'll wind me up here. Because now the boys are looking, going, you got to take that? Can he mug you off, kind of thing? Mate, an hour and 45 minutes, he's battering me. And at the final bit of the trailer, I was about to lose it, and thankfully he called it. He must have saw my head was going, but battered me all the way through it. No problem. Walked in, he went, nice one for that, lad. I could batter anybody now because I've hammered you.
Oh, really?
He's told you that before, so...
Yeah, it's respectful, though, isn't it? Yeah, so it's no problem. It's like, okay, no worries. And this guy, Ivic, he was in, and they were trying to get rid of a few of us, like me, Welbs, Caps, Ben Foster, because we were on decent dough, and we just got relegated. So he's took over.
Well, there was that shot, wasn't there? There was the shot of it. Was this when there was still no crowds? And you were in the stands.
Yeah.
And then it was weird on TV because they could cut to you and there'd be a group of you. So it was a weird season anyway.
Yeah. Because remember, it was a real quick turnaround. So it stopped, didn't it, for COVID? And then we finished in like June, July, 2 weeks back out in August for the start of it. And it was a real strange one. But he's like, we've had this conversation at the start, like, look, I think they're trying to sell me. I don't really want to go. You know, I'll just stay out the way. So there was like 8 of us that were in like the bomb squad, essentially, running on our own, doing all that. And then what happened was we played Huddersfield away, and me, Etienne, and Fozzie all got put in the squad because they didn't think they were going to get rid of us. So like Welbs had gone to Brighton and whatever. So anyway, and we weren't going to do the daisy. None of us three were going to do the daisy. That weren't happening. So we go in the squad. So them 2 start. I'm on the bench. No problem. Neither here nor there. And then I think we lost 3-0, 2-0 away. Fozzie had a bit of a stinker. And then they started blaming the GoPro. Caps. That's right. Yeah. Caps was like not arsed in the slightest. And I don't like Caps, but I love him as a player and that. But mate, he got brought off and did the slowest walk around the pitch I've ever seen. I think it took him 15 minutes, we counted, to go off to walk back because he was like, get me out of here kind of vibe. And then he brought on everyone but me. So I'm like, well, clearly there's a problem here then. Anyway, goes around the dressing room. He kind of knows being sacked, shakes everyone's hand, just walks past me. And Fozzie, to be fair, Fozzie just grabbed me. I was like, don't. I was like, I'll see him tomorrow. Like, I'm not going to do that. Because I had my hand out, like, all the best, and he just walked straight past me. Get in the car, mate, because I'm going home. On fucking TalkSport or 5 Live, whatever it was. Oh, now we're going to cut to, what's his name? Vladimir Ivic. And he's like, yeah, can't work with these players. You know, that Deeney's the hardest one, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, hold on. I just fucking seen you. Literally 2 seconds ago, didn't say a word. Get in the car, now I'm the problem. Now, as you know, with Twitter and everything, by the time I get home, I'm the problem. Scott Duxbury's fucking put out a statement saying the club backed me. And I've not said a word. I'm just like,
wow.
Hold on. All right, that's how we're going to play. And he got sacked the next day. And that's the only time the club then phoned me. We're like, look, we stand by. I was like, you got to stand by me. He was an arsehole. You employed him. But you're not going to... I actually had to go at them because they put a statement out. It made it look like I had an issue. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the only problem.
But yeah, because they'd put a statement out. Almost.
Yeah, because it never happened before. And now all of a sudden you put this statement out.
I don't think you could ever... a few things that you can never put against you would be straight away loyalty, commitment, work ethic, and, you know... So
tell it as it is.
Yeah, I mean, you're one of the people that you can see it's black and white. Do you know what I mean? To tell what you want me to do, and I'll do it. It's not a problem.
Yeah,
but don't go around.
Mate, we had times at Watford. So I walk around at 100 kilos like that. That's me walking around. I was playing at like 95 if I was right at it. We had a summer, and my missus laughs about it. So they told me I had to come back at 92. So I'm like, fucking hell, all summer working out anyway, mate. I did the UFC thing. I got in the bath the night before, put the salts in, dropped loads, got to the training ground, mate, 92. My mouth is dry as fuck. Like, got it all done, bang the water down me. They're like, oh, well done. We wanted to play at 88. I'm like, what do you mean? So anyway, we're going through. And they just kept like prodding me. But what I know now, and we've spoken about it, is they were trying to get rid of me because I was on good money. Instead of having an adult conversation, be like, look, we were going to sell you, or do you want to half your dough for 2 years or whatever the conversation was. They were just like trying to get me to snap, and that's why I ended up leaving. You know, I can't say what I did, but I got into a bit of an issue with the ex-director of football, and it was made aware that it'd be better that Troy left. So, and then I got paid up the next day.
He said the better.
There was a negotiation.
Of
sorts.
Yeah, let's say that. Yeah. He was told, and I got what I wanted, and then I moved on to Birmingham, and life was good, mate. But do you know what, with Watford and like,
do you love Watford?
Absolutely, of course I do. And I got upset I did a podcast for one of the local Watford fans. I got upset about it because when you give your all to something, and I like you say, I'm very loyal. I'm loyal to a fault sometimes, but I gave my all to that place, my all, everything, and to then be mugged off in the background when all it needed was thanks for everything, mate, handshake. So they told me over the time period I would get what's it called, testimonial. Where's that? Never happened. I've been giving you 12 years of service. I was your highest shirt revenue 8 years in a row. So I'm making you all the money I'm getting. And as you said, synonymous with Watford is Troy and all of these different things. We work great hand in hand. And then to get me out, you were like, we're just going to piss him off as much as we can.
Yeah, that's a shame. So you angry about the way
the way it ended, yeah. Well, at the time, but I've been removed 3 years now. I'm like, no problem.
I was going to say, I don't think the perception of you from a fan point of view is... Actually, I didn't know that you've just said.
But you wouldn't. Like, if I'd come out and said it straight afterwards, everyone would be like, that's an excuse. So you have to let the time go. And listen, there's loads of things that will get me in trouble legally that I could say, but it's just not that good. I played at Old Trafford. I played at all the best crowds. I played against you boys, like, great times. Yeah. There's one time I played against you at Stoke. Don't you remember? I choked Joe Allen on the pitch.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. Wow. Because to be fair to him, he came at you quite aggressively.
Yeah.
And wow, because you know why I remember that? Because we played it at the end of, when you debrief the game.
Oh yeah.
And at the
post-match analysis.
Post-match analysis. I said, and then we'll just talk us through this bit, and we showed you choking Joe Allen. That's a fair fight.
No. What I would say is I'm never the aggressor. I was never the aggressor. He came in like...
But you lifted him off his
Do you know what you're talking about?
So mate, it was amazing. It's worth a Google.
Yeah, so we're having this little like back and forth anyway, and it was happening all game. Like, he was a 6, so I was like trying to chest it and then like push him out the way, and I'd foul him, he'd foul me. Anyway, this one happened. It's a foul. I've just forgot where I was, and I picked him up by his head. In the middle of the game.
You've seen nothing like it. I'm telling you, there's a picture out there.
But I'm just squeezing him, and it's like Ryan Shaw across, Zuma's coming in. I think Crouchy was probably in the back laughing. But the rest of all comes steaming in, and I'm just like laughing, like, got you now. And we both got 2 yellows.
Oh, look, it's right at the end when you look. This is the this is the digging of the thumbs, right? But look how it ends. Oh, Joe. To be fair to Joe, like,
It doesn't make me look good at all.
No, listen, Joe's a great lad, right?
No, he's brilliant. He's brilliant.
Like top.
No,
man.
he is.
You know what? He was afterwards, because he gets really aggressive on the pitch. But he's a nice guy. He's nice geezer off it, isn't he? He's a great lad. And like, it was one of my pals. But he afterwards, when we played that at the end, he was laughing.
Do you know the story of that kills me? So he got him. Fletch was there as well at the time, wasn't he? Dan Fletcher and Klebs, they got drug tested afterwards. And I remember, like, obviously they've got a bit long. I've gone, and then Klebs has phoned me. Mate, I got to tell you, I was talking to Joe Allen, and he said, if you'd have held on a few more seconds, he said he was gone. he said he could feel his head going light. He said, but he was just kicking, like, put me down kind of thing. I was like, just tell him I said sorry, mate. I didn't mean it.
So shithousery is, generally speaking, quite a good thing on this podcast. But it's kind of it's the art of getting into the head of opposition players, fans, managers. Yeah. You are an expert in this field, I think it's fair to say.
You are, yeah. Do you know the famous one is cojones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal.
Yeah. Rent-free. You was rent-free in there.
I still am, to an extent, because even now, like, they lost to Bayern Munich, and then it comes out again. Like, it's every time something doesn't go right. Like, and like, even with that, you know, you think back, you think, what a knobhead you are. Like, I shouldn't have said that. But I was only watching The Sopranos before, and that's where it's come. I've never used that word before.
Because it is an unusual word to bring out in an interview.
Yeah, because I don't think, and I was going to swear, and then I remembered you're on TV, and I was like, oh, cojones, and it just came out. I was like, what a knob. Do you know, like,
so good.
When you look about it, it's so cringy, man. I'm like, oh, what a you are. I don't know if you can use that word, sorry.
Oh, it was great. It was great. And also, but that's what fans wanted to see. And also, especially when you were, like, you revelled in being this underdog and representing that as well. And that's what we loved about you.
I am the underdog.
Yeah.
I'm not even being a dickhead. Like, I am. I should, like, if you look, I started playing football at Midland Com 2, which is 12 steps below conference, and I'm playing in the Premier League and I'm captain. Like, there's no other way of putting it than I am the underdog. I'm the story that shouldn't happen. Vard is the same, Charlie Austin, Ricky Lambert, those boys are all the same. We didn't have the luxury of coming through the ranks the right way. And I do think it is the right way, by the way, because you wouldn't have had so much shit from me, like, if I'd have been schooled and don't say this because it does that. But then on the flip side, I wouldn't be who I am today.
That's made you the character you are now, and obviously, you are seen as outspoken, but people, I think, fans, even when we did this podcast, people couldn't believe it because we were being honest. We're not doing the usual sound bites.
Absolutely.
And I think people take to that, don't they? And I think people take to you saying it how it is.
But none of us are intentionally trying to upset somebody else. It's just your opinion. And also, I know for myself anyway, I'm always available to be told different. So if I have an opinion on this table and you say it's this, all right, why does he think that? And I can listen to an argument. Whereas now I think it's like, you can say, like I said the other day, Ollie Watkins is a winger trying to be a striker. What I meant by that is, because it was taken out of context, but what the question was...
I saw it.
The context was, would you take Ivan Toney or Ollie Watkins? I said Ivan because he's more of a natural striker. I think Ollie's played as a winger and he's now trying to play as a striker. That's not my opinion, that's factual. Exeter was a winger, at Brentford he was a winger, at Villa up until this year he was a winger.
But also, that's not a slant, is it?
No, it's not at all. But now but the perception of it is now that I think he's.
But that gains traction because he's come out on Instagram, right, and said,
and that's what he should do.
You're not bad for a.
And it's not bad for a winger. If I really wanted to be a shithouse, I could have said, I remember the first time I scored at Arsenal. It didn't take me 5 goes, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
Here we go.
You say you're strong-minded and strong opinion as well. We've done our coaching badges. Well, he done half of his and then he gave up.
He realised it worked for him.
I've still obviously got mine.
Yeah.
But you've obviously done the full step.
Yeah.
Was that one of your downfalls with the Forest Green in terms of just how the modern game's going and your morals?
No. It wasn't that. It was all about the way, what was said. This is the thing with me. What's said has never been the problem. It's where it's said and the time of what it's said. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? So no one's come out and said, what you said about the players was wrong. What you said about the performance was wrong. It's that probably should have stayed in the dressing room. And I absolutely get that. My frustration is when people aren't trying to reach their maximum. So, for example, we've got players in that, or had players in that room who have the capability of playing in Championship, without doubt. But they didn't realise this shit needs to change now. Fundamentally, they've ended up getting relegated, and you see what's happened, not just this year, but the year before. They've gone on a downward spiral. That's not because the players aren't good enough. It's because there's no urgency. And you get given a job. I got given a job Wednesday morning. Tuesday night, I'd just come back from Blackpool with the team, and we lost. And it's like, you're up. Oh, shit. I haven't had time to think about what to say, how to say. There's so much to try and sort out. And, the negative of that, what I don't teach you on any of these courses is the people above me who have subsequently been sacked, it was all their first jobs. Yeah. So we were all learning.
Yeah.
Where I'm right, let's fix this, get it done. They're like, oh, yeah, but on the course it says we need to speak to Sidwell like this, or we need to speak to Peter like that. It's like, no.
You wanted to make an impact
it's like,
as well.
But you don't have time. So I had 6 games in a 3-week spell.
Yeah.
So everyone thinks they go 6 games. It was 3 weeks. It was all over Christmas. So we had the first proper training session we had was the day I was sacked. Everything else was rest, recover, go again. Rest, recover, go again. And that's it. And mate, it was brilliant though.
Yeah, did you enjoy it?
Absolutely loved it. And it's not put me off one bit. It's just given me so much more to learn about myself and go away and figure out and then even with the staff as well. So I only took one in with me. I took Ned Kelly in with me, an old boy, just to have a bit more of experience. So then I'd probably go in with 2 or 3 now. Yeah. And really attack it the way it's supposed to be attacked. I think when you look at like Arteta and Pep and all the top boys, they come in with a team, and the reason they come in with a team is because they know, I know what you can do, I know what you can do, and we all know what I want essentially. So you go get to work.
What would you look for in your next job?
And do you want to do it?
An opportunity.
Do you want to?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, like I said to my missus, I had every opportunity to go this end for me because I got battered the days after and all of that. And it's quite good because I don't live on social media. I don't really see any of it. It don't really bother me. But like my mum and that, they have a panic up. So they're like, oh God, you're in the news. I'm like, my nan Googles me, mate, because she don't have social. So she gets up in the morning, goes on Google, and she's got like Martin O'Neill hammering me and all of that. And it's like, nan, it's fine. Like, you know, Martin's like 70 years old. I'm sure he's not going to whip me. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. Yeah,
but they do you worrying for you. And you forget that, you know, everything that you do or everything kind of that's out there does affect your family, doesn't it?
Of course it does. But in terms of like the work was brilliant. So the coaching side of it and the getting on the pitch and trying to educate the players, that genuinely loved it. Yeah. And then, I don't care what anyone says, it's 24 hours every day. You go to work at 6, but you're already on the phone on the way in. You probably go to bed about 1 if you're lucky, looking at your games, looking at training, thinking where can you do it. And it was brilliant, mate. I spoke to a few of the boys, so Tom Huddleston, Vassal, Ricky Lambert, they were out with the England boys. They were going out to Barcelona the weekend when I was on the same flight. And they were like, oh, what do you think? And I was like, all these courses we could do. I wish you could just get dropped in at League 2. Because
you will learn.
Yeah, but you've got to do everything. Mate, I was like, you try to get the fitness guys on board because we know what the top looks like. And I'm not saying to them now, all of a sudden you got to get to the top, but some of the things you're doing aren't the right way. Do you get what I mean? Without being disrespectful. Then you've got goalkeeping coaches. Then you're having to look at the transfers and the next game and what pitches we've got, because these pitches are now flooded. So do you know anywhere we can train? And it's all this different stuff that on no courses, whenever you do an A license or a pro, it's all like if you're at Man City with endless money, isn't it?
Of course it is.
This bit
not
was
the reality of ringing around pitches.
Exactly but we were the Thursday we got sat. The following day we were going to train at Watford because we were playing Gillingham. So I'd phone Watford. Can we use your pitch halfway down? JD was coming in because the strikers we were getting loads of chances, but they weren't scoring. So it's like instead of me saying it, got JD. JD was going to come in on the Friday. Right. And then get sat Thursday. I'm like, right, all he is, fuck it, it's done. So cancelled it all.
It's been cancelled.
Yeah, it's all been cancelled. But I genuinely, again, it's easy to say, but I genuinely believe if we'd have had the rest of that month, we'd have turned it around because it was more or less there. You could feel it.
Do you want to do this, Sid? It's still.
It's more and more. He speaks of things like that, and he's like, there's an element that it's like you want it. It's like a drug. It's a crazy drug that you go. I need to have that. But then there's another side that I'm like, fuck that. I want to stay as far away as I can.
No, I promise you. Once you get in, you won't want to get out. Yeah. It's the closest thing you can do to playing. Yeah. It's the closest because you can still you still got the banter in the training ground. You've still got the responsibilities as we've all been captains and people talking to you. But now you've got an added responsibility where everyone looks at you and goes, "What are we doing then?" Yeah.
Steve Leadwell.
Don't mind it. Don't mind it.
I love that one.
But I think once you get in, and obviously it's the characters as well, right? So you seem, I know you as a player, you was a bit nasty as well, but you
that means a lot coming from Troy.
No, but I'm saying he's like, you seem very composed and you think about what you're going to do. So then it's like, well, who would you have next year?
Yeah.
Because if you were both the same in terms of both think football the same way, the lads you've got might not think like that. So you need to have someone who's probably a little bit younger, as well as someone who's a little bit older. Yeah. Maybe even someone that's not even been in the game.
Well, what about Watford then? Do you think can you ever see a time that you would
Yeah, absolutely.
and share.
But
Klebs is doing a great job.
This is the thing. I don't want to even. So I've had like loads of times where TalkSport have tried to be like, "Also, what about the Watford gig?" I'm like, "No, because my mate's in there."
Yeah.
So let's not even have the conversation.
By the way, I don't mean this in
No,
a
I know,
Tony or...
yeah, but the problem is...
Klebs is doing
As soon as it happens, though, the tabloids pick it up, and Troy said he wants to be Watford.
Cool.
And,
Yeah, I see.
you know, the headline
Yeah,
does
I
it.
see
So
what you mean.
Yeah.
all I ever say at the minute is, further down the line, absolutely, that'd be dream for me. But Klebs is doing a great job, and I'm still speaking to him, still trying to help whatever he needs a lend in here, but he's doing a great job.
Brilliant.
He's doing a great job. Do you think he'll get it into next season as well?
I think he will. I think my worry from it is that he'll get it and not get backed and then get sacked like after the window closes, because that's a trend that a lot of clubs do.
But weirdly, fans, I think, understand that situation as well. I don't think it will chip away his legacy.
No, but for him, though, you've worked all summer, try to create something, and then see you, mate, Sids is in now. Do you get what I mean? And he's just like, it's just I know Crouch, you don't want to do it.
Yeah. No, and actually, he's not actually friendly with Cleverly at all. So he take it. He said he'd take it tomorrow.
And TalkSport can run with that, right?
TalkSport, put it out there.
But yeah,
Just
man.
back in, I do like Clem.
He's a good lad. He's a good lad.
No, but yeah, this manager game is hard. Yeah. And then from a purely family point of view, like the kids and the missus are happy now because they see me. So they're like, we don't mind you doing the media, as you boys know better than me. Like with the management of the football game, you don't really have a family. You do because they're there, but it's all about us, isn't it? We're so selfish within that moment of what we need, and our thoughts come first. That now it's like, mate, I could work. I've done a couple of podcasts today. Go somewhere tonight. I got Tuesday, Wednesday off. Take the kids to school.
Nice.
Go and do. My one daughter plays for. She's on trial at Man City at the moment, so she's doing all right. My other son wants to be a chef. Do you know what I mean? Like you're just in that situation now where I'm starting to understand what they like. Because although I was dad,
Decent cook.
Yeah, well, can't you tell?
It's like barbecues.
Yeah, he
Like
loves it, mate.
barbecues,
He does
so
love
You're
it.
into your barbecuing, are you?
Yeah. I let him do the cooking, but he loves the steak. I've heard you got barbecues.
I love barbecues.
He loves the
mate. I love
barbecue.
it.
Yeah.
Is he any good though?
Yeah, I believe he's very.
Because I
good,
love playing golf, but I'm not great at it.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
Well, we won't bore you with it too much, but we'll talk away.
He'll bore us when you're gone. Listen, Troy, you know what? It's been a long time coming having you on. And, you know, at times, obviously, you do divide opinion out there, you know. But, like, when I hear your story and kind of, like, where you've come from, what you've been through, and where you've got to now, I always think people, it's quick to judge, aren't they, when you're kind of up here and putting yourself out there. But you are a resounding success story, without doubt.
Oh,
mate.
thank
And
you,
are, you know, you've got to where you are because of your hard work, your dedication to your craft and what you're doing. So
I think that's really come through today as well.
yeah, it has. Yeah, and I
thanks
think
for
thank you.
it's been really good, mate, and a pleasure to have you on. But yeah, we're going to do a couple of messages if that's all right.
Do you think? Yeah, do you think?
But thanks for coming on anyway.
I say, I feel like I've been kicked off. You're going to send me the
Not
text?
at all, mate. We've got all right, message from George. I'm going to go straight in. Message from George. It's a long one, by the way. Bear with me. I proposed to my wife in July 2016, and we said that we'd get saving and get married. 2 years after, July 2018, that's a World Cup year, just to let you know, I said as a throwaway comment the night we got engaged. Anyway, the 2 years fly by. England qualify for Russia, deliberately lose to Belgium in the last group game for an easier draw, and the scene is set. Colombia versus England in the last 16, 4 days before our wedding. The winner will play Sweden 3 p.m. Saturday the 7th of July. Watching the game in the pub and the whole place erupts as Eric Dyer's penalty sends us through. Everyone is buzzing except my soon-to-be wife, who knows exactly what this means. England in a World Cup quarter-final, an hour after we say I do. Some heated debates followed after the next few days, but we eventually agree that I'm right and we've got to have the game on at the reception. Day comes and I'm stood waiting for the bride, who is of course running late. The guests are giving me looks to say we better not miss the fucking kickoff. I'm pointing at their watches. We get through the ceremony, quick few photos, and dash across to the golf course where our reception is, for us to have the standard bollocks wedding photos and the guests to pile in and catch the game on the screens. As we've requested, we show the game. All ends well. England do the Swedes 2-0 and everyone's spirits are high. The first song after our first dance is, of course, Vindaloo, followed by Football's Coming Home. I think both songs played 20 times each throughout the night. It made the day 100 times better. May not have been the case if England had lost, but today we will definitely not forget. So whilst Chris is right to have some reservations about the wedding on a big England game at a major tournament, let me tell you, when it goes well, it's absolutely fucking class.
Yeah, great. I love that.
Wow.
Touche.
So we've discussed on this, but quite a few people don't like to show. Like, what do you do? Do you show the big games? You know, FA Cup final, Champions League final.
You should cater for your guests.
Should you cater?
No.
You don't think you should?
No, it's your day. But
we're not for your guests.
Listen
to George there. Look at I don't know how his missus feels.
My missus listens to yours and your missus' podcast, and you've had a similar situation. But I think, like, when it comes to, I'm getting married June 12th this year. It's June 12th. Yeah, June 12th this year.
Okay.
So we are.
Is there any games on that day?
No. It starts on the 14th. Starts on the 14th. But we was having a similar discussion, and fundamentally, what every man will attest to is it's their day, and we just turned up. That's it. Turned up.
But you raise a point, because even in that, they acknowledge that the bride's running late, which I think should be a fine. Personally,
It would do, but it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen because they're always right. So the one thing I've realised in this later life of mine, now at 35, is they're always right. And when you're right, it doesn't matter because they're always right. So unless you have unresounded evidence that you are right out of 3 or 4 people, hopefully your mum, to back you up that you were right, you're going to lose anyway. I should have changed the argument to something else.
But yeah, I think it's summed up when Ab was pregnant. She just said to me, "I'm being unreasonable, but I don't give a fuck." Well, I'll come back from that.
That's a touche. Touche, you would.
All right. Yeah, you carry on.
So I hope my missy never watches this, but
I never thought. I really didn't think you'd go that way, Troy. I didn't think you'd be one of those that the football will be off at the wedding if it's on a.
no.
My issue is I think there's a lot of people that might go missing, or they might, I think just try. Yeah, I think the date needs to be moved.
The date does need to be moved. It needs to. Next time you play, don't get married in June. Because there's always friendlies on and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So use your noggin a little bit. Yeah. But then in the second part to that, every man likes to say that they run their house. We don't.
No.
Crouchy is not. There's not a sofa in his house that he's picked.
Yeah.
There's not. Is that fair?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Is there anything in your house that you picked? No. Not at all. We just turn up and go, can I have that TV, please? Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah.
And a little fridge for the beers.
Yeah, no, mine's gone. It's there now. How was my fridge up for? I can't believe you called that.
What about you?
Literally, I put that in my little TV room, and then it didn't go, so it's in here now.
Nice. What about you? What's happening in your house? Do you run your house?
It's the same. I get my barbecues, but they're outside.
There you go. You can have that. Yeah.
Just mine outside. I thought it's out there for 24 hours.
This is why I've been telling you, you'd love barbecuing if you gave it a go.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. All right, we're going to finish with an 11. And
I do like these. I've seen these.
And there's Steve Sidwell is consistently involved. And,
Sid, are you getting fed up with this? Yeah. Do we need to rein it in?
Do you know what it is? On social media now, like if I post a picture, I could post a picture of. I don't want the other day. There was a sunset, and it was
sunset, beautiful sunset. This pod's mad, mate.
Even as he's saying this, he doesn't want to say it.
It's so funny.
I don't want to the kids skiing, and it was Steve skis well. I mean, one of dinner time, Steve eats well. It's ridiculous.
The other day he was talking about one of the managers of his previous club thought he was perhaps a mole in the camp. So we had this whole discussion about it, and then we had 11 next week. Steve Snitchwell.
That one's really stuck. Actually.
I don't want that one.
That's the one you don't want.
What about this one? We've got a money 11 tonight. The reason I raised it is because in goal we've got Steve Spenwell.
No, Steve Spenwell's a good one, mate. Think about that. If you want to branch out, you could become our money-saving expert as well for the pod.
Steve Spenwell.
That's Martin Lewis territory. That's good.
We can work with that. Right, okay. Ross Barkley's. Cashley Barnes, Matty Cash.
Yeah.
Nat West, Neil Klein.
That West Daniel.
West Daniel Klein.
Yeah.
Santander Cazorla. Raheem Sterling. We got Petr Cech, obviously. Gordon Banks, standard. Cristiano Ronaldo. Philip Billing and Diego Costs.
It's good. It's good. Thank you, Chris, for sending that in. I appreciate that.
Belter.
All right.
Right, that's us. Troy, absolute pleasure you coming on, mate. Really
appreciate it. Top man.
So
Thank you.
So good.
Been a pleasure. Been a fan for a while.
Thank you.